What's going on, good people? Hey, Foots here. I'm checking in. Fans of the channel, if you're a fan of other teams, I got a bunch of notes on your team. Well, I don't got notes on 32 teams because guess what? I was not going to take notes on 32 teams, because I don't see how these analysts do it. Like, there's no way that you can give a legit answer on teams that you don't follow on a regular. Or I just wasn't gonna do it. But the NFC East, I do know, so I'm gonna hit those teams. I thought that the NFC East, for the most part, teams had some good drafts. I'll get to some things that I like, some things that I didn't. But I just want to say thank you guys for rocking with me throughout this whole cycle. It's been love, man. The views have been great. You guys have been really entertaining. I mean, not entertaining, but you guys have interacted more or less a lot. And that's what it's about, man, because the draft community is just that. We're a community of people who, like to follow career paths and career arcs and ups and downs of these players that we, have come to enjoy. So that's what makes the game dope to me. Like, I'm not just a fair weather, I call myself an underground fan. Like, I love, studying players and the process in which how they grow, develop, and all that. And how I graded was teams who had a plan and building more or less on the things that they needed help with. And then how it makes sense moving forward with the roster that they already have. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. So while I'm only doing NFC East teams, I wanted to give some honorable mentions to Cleveland, Chicago, and Carolina. I think those three organizations had great drafts. I mean, if you tell me Cleveland already made the playoffs and won a game, which they hadn't done in a while, but you mean to tell me they get Greg Newsome, Joker, and Anthony Felton, a speed demon? You get Joker in the second round because supposedly he fell because of a heart issue or some type of issue. You get the player who, to me, instant attitude to an already good defense, a defense that has Myles Garrett. He belongs in that AFC North, just that gritty team. You see what I'm saying? If they can get anything out of Grant Delpit, this defense is going to be legit. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Greedy Williams has probably lost his position because Newsome is going to come in day one and be ready to rock. So I think that Cleveland had a good draft. I think the Bears had a good draft just because, you got your franchise quarterback. You jumped a bunch of teams. And to me, I'm looking at a Philly. Well, I'm not going to tease them, but I'm not going to tease my thoughts on Philly. But I'm going to say this. Getting Justin Fields makes your draft, you won because you got your guy. There's no price for getting your guy. I think that Justin Fields can play. And then, hey, Tevin Jenkins, Daz Newsome, put some pieces around him. Like, the Bears have played good football. It's clear one position has held them back, the quarterback position. And no, Andy Dalton ain't going to help you. And look, Cowboys fans give me hell all the time. I liked the Andy Dalton signing when he came to Dallas as a backup insurance guy, but he ain't the starter of Chicago. So you got your guy. Be happy about that. And then Carolina. It's just like Carolina just understands good football players. J.C. Horn, Terrace Marshall. Terrace Marshall is the absolute steal of the draft. Then you get Chuba Hubbard. You mix him in with McCaffrey. Man, y'all good to go, Carolina. Then Davion Nixon. Seriously? Like, they had a nice haul, man. So those three teams I thought hit it. There are a few other teams that I thought did well in this draft, but those three teams to me around the league, I just said, looking at it on paper, they did a good job. All right, let's talk about the Washington Redskins draft. I gave this draft a B, and my favorite pick was De'Ami Brown. Now, I think that was their steal. I like the Jamin Davis pick because he's going to come in. He's going to be clean. He can cover. And just let's go through their whole haul real quick. Jamin Davis, Sam Cosby, another good pickup. Benjamin St. Juste, not bad player. De'Ami Brown can flat out ball. John Bates in the fifth. Then you go Derek Forrest, Shaka Toney, Dax Milne. I had Dax Milne in one of Dallas's mock drafts, so he's a good player. He was Zach Wilson's security blanket receiver, so he's a nice player. Here's the deal. I think that Washington missed it by not drafting their quarterback of the future because all of these guys can play. They have studs all over the defense side of the ball. But until they figure out that quarterback position, that's why I love the Bears draft because, even if you didn't get it right the first time, keep throwing stuff at the wall, man, and try to get your guy. Like, I'm not going to go into the offseason trying to put in my bid for Aaron Rodgers. Are you nuts? Ryan Fitzpatrick and Heineke, they're guys. They're just guys. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he'll have some blah, 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 Fitz magic moments. He stinks. He's been a career journeyman for a reason. He's not going to get you over the hump. And with that defense, you can get over the hump. But he is going to turn the ball over when you least expect it. When you think things are going good, here comes a pick. And then Heineke, yeah, he played good in the playoff game. But the truth of the matter is when teams get film on him, he'll turn back to who he was. So I thought that I can't give them higher than a B because they didn't address that need. Like, you didn't have to get one of the high guys. You could have went up and got one if you wanted to mortgage the future, but you didn't need to get one of the high guys. And I would like them to see. I would like to see them attack receiver a little hard too, because the truth is, I love Scary Terry. He's a really good player. But opposite of him is like who? And Logan Thomas, he's a good tight end, and I do like Gibson, but the defenses around the NFC East got better. So you need to continue to add pieces to that offense. I just don't think they did a good job of that. They get a B from me. Sorry, Skins fans. And we're going to pop y'all this year. But my grade wasn't objective because y'all don't have a solid quarterback. The New York Giants. Ugh. It irks me to say, man, they had a good draft. I gave this draft an A+. I really did. My favorite pick for them, Azeez Ojulari. If you would have told me he had first-round talent, if you would have told me that he goes in the second round, that's a steal. That's a steal. And let's talk about the draft real quick, guys. Kadarius Toney, first round. Azeez Ojulari in the second. Aaron Robinson, who I love. I watched a lot of his tape when I watched Richie Grant's tape. Then Ellerson Smith. Then they went Gary Brightwell and Rodarius Williams. Here's the deal. The Giants hit on the right needs. And that's what I'm saying. And they piece together with what they have already on that roster. If Saquon comes back healthy, if you get anything out of Galladay, you already have Slayton on the roster. You already have Sterling Shepard on the roster. You mean to tell me that Kadarius Toney, he's just a lightning in a bottle. Now, the problem with Toney is he does have focus drops. But if he's focused and playing good football, he plays big. He plays with his hair on fire, and he's gonna come in and be like Daniel Jones does not have to be home run guy. He doesn't have to go out there and win games. Check it down here. Let Saquon do the work. Check it down there. Let Kadarius Toney do the work. In the red zone, jump ball to Galladay. This team is going to be scary, not to mention their defense already wasn't bad with Leonard Williams, Bradbury, Peppers. Now you add Azeez Ojulari to that defense. The NFC East is going to be back, and I like their team moving forward. The Giants get an A+ from me. Moving on to Philly, who for the draft, on paper, Philly gets in A+. Now, I got to get this out. If I was Philly, I would have stayed in and picked the quarterback because the truth is, me, Foots, as much football as I've watched, I saw things in Jalen Hurts that he came in and he looks like he's going to be a one-hit wonder. And with as good as this class was, I just would have stayed. Like, think about it. If Philly would have been able to draft Justin Fields, they would have been feeling really good about themselves right now. I like Jalen Hurts. I just think that they're torn in that building. And we can go over their picks. Now, their favorite pick for me was Milton Williams. He is a certified stud. Make no mistake about that. I wanted him. He's a certified stud. But we'll go over their picks. Devonta Smith, obviously, we know what he is. He's a very light, great route runner, Marvin Harrison type receiver. So Philly got their receiver. Great. Landon Dickerson, I thought that was a great value pick for them as well. Philly fans didn't like the pick, but he'll come in, he'll play guard right away, then he'll end up transitioning to center. I like the pick. Milton Williams, Zach McPherson was another steal. Like, Philly had a nice draft. Kenneth Gainwell, Memphis running back. Then you got Tula Tupelo. I always mess him up. DT from USC. I think he's a really good player. Stuffer. Then you got the DM from Coastal Carolina. He gave Zach Wilson fits. It was funny to watch him when I watched their film. And when I watched the game live, he gave Zach Wilson fits when Coastal Carolina beat BYU. And then Jacoby Stevens and Patrick Johnson. Here's the deal. This class is dependent on Jalen Hurts' success. Like, with Dallas and our offense, we kind of know that our offense is straight. Just go ahead and our offense is actually beyond straight. Like, there's not a question that Dallas has the best receiving core and probably the best weapons in the NFC East. You get Dak back, healthy Dak. You know what he was doing leading the offense before he got hurt. It is what it is. Our defense was just putrid. Philly, I just got to see how they put it together. And I don't think that Jalen Hurts is the man for the job. And it kind of showed when Peterson was kind of reluctant to play him. We'll see. If I'm wrong, it is what it is. I give the draft an A+, but me personally, for them to do all that willing and dealing and trying to get in front of us, and thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Philly, for giving us that third round pick. I just would have stayed picked and put and drafted a quarterback and just start fresh. Nobody from all of that hangover, because the truth of the matter is, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I don't believe everybody in that building is sold on Jalen Hurts. I could be wrong. And then the Cowboys, so I give y'all Philly. I'm not hating. I give y'all an A+. And then the Cowboys, I'm not gonna talk about our draft again. You guys know how I feel. If you don't, go watch my full pick recap and my full pick grades on all the picks. I deep dived into all the picks. But my favorite pick, I will say, it was Jabril Cox. Then I changed my mind. Then it was Kelvin Joseph. Then I changed my mind. My favorite pick is Osa Odigizua. Baby. I just think he's a dog, man. Like, he plays like a 1 at 290. He got long arms. He just gets after the quarterback, and he can play the rush well. I think that this was a steal in the third round, man. And it was like, without me knowing a lot about the player, now that I've got to get to the film, he can do it. Vach hit it. I even did some more work on him. He could flat out do it. And he just looks like he got that Aaron Donald, like, big, strong, cock swole type dude. He could ball. So anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Foots here. Those are my full NFC East draft grades. Hey, look, man. I'm not hating on nobody. I'm not hating on nobody's team. Well, kind of, sort of. We're going to pop all y'all anyway. So does this make, who's the favorite for the NFC East? Of course it's Dallas. Like, what are we talking about? It's your boy Foots. Hey.